All right, folks, so we're going to work on getting ready to put on the patio on this thing. So we've finished up with our interior walls. We've got our bedrooms and our living rooms and our kitchens and blah, blah, blah. And now we're going to work on putting on the patio. So we're going to do some ledgers. Ledgers are things where the patio is, where the boards are going to sit. So first of all, get to where you can spin this thing around, and we're going to look at the back side of the house. And we're going to do this new thing. So I'm sorry, not the back, the right. Let's try that again. The left side of the house. If you're looking at the front here, we're going to go to the left. Okay, so we're going to do something a little new here, and we're going to create a part studio in context. And what that means is that we're going to use our existing structure here as a basis for what we're going to build on. So let's go ahead and put that part studio in context. It says, where do you want a mate connector? Now we have to choose one. So we're probably going to have to put one here. So let's go ahead and actually, let me cancel out of that. I forgot that we had to do that. We're going to make our mate connector. So let's come up here to where you make a mate connector, and we're going to come down to this corner right here and just snap it on right there. The blue line is facing towards us. Okay. And we're going to say, okay, so that's where that is. Now we can go ahead and do the part studio in context. And it says, what mate connector do you want? I want that one that we just made. Okay. And we should be able to just say, okay, good. Okay. So now that's bringing us into a new part studio, which is kind of cool, but we still see our assembly in there. So we're making it where it's kind of bringing the assembly in with it, which is kind of slick. So we are now going to sketch on this plane. For me, it's the top. It might show different for you. The plane that is going along with this ledger that we just, or this joist, where we're on the left side of the house, and we're going to sketch on that plane right there that goes in the same plane as that. So make sure it's not one of the other ones or you'll mess this up. So we're going to sketch on that plane. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to make some 2x6 ledgers. Now, I have no idea if this is code appropriate or not, or they're not big enough or not. We're just kind of getting the idea of how this structure works. I'm going to bring myself perpendicular to that. Whoa, I didn't mean to flip upside down. That might happen to you too. There's some arrows up here that we can click to get, there we go, all the way around the right way. So I don't know why I'm upside down, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to draw a total of 4 rectangles. So we're going to start at that point, and I'm going to draw a rectangle that is, now I'm pulling it out. It's a 2-point rectangle, and I'll dimension as I go along. So once I click, I can put in 1.5 is the thickness of that board. Enter goes to the other one, and it's going to be 5.5 high. So there's a 2x6. Now we're going to make another 2x6 over here, and I'm going to see how that yellow line shows up to show that I'm lined up. I do want to be lined up with it. And we're going to come over here. Now, it doesn't snap. So I think I'm going to try something here. I haven't done this yet. We have this thing called use or project. So if you come up here to use or project, notice that I can hover over that line that's on the outside of that post, and I'm going to click that because I want that line to be there. All right. So I now have something to hook onto. So I can go ahead and click rectangle again. Now we're going to hook onto that line for the lower corner. Actually, let's hover over, get that yellow line to show up all the way over to where it snaps. So we have 2 yellow things showing, the dashed line and the outside edge of the post. Click, pull outward, click again, and we're going to put our 1.5 enter for the width and our 5.5 high. And it should, if we did this right, be all black with no blue lines because we've constrained it both horizontally and where it is. If that didn't work and there's blue lines, undo a couple steps, watch that again and do it again. Now we're going to go to the other side. We're still drawing on that same plane, even though we're way over here. And now we're going to project again. We're going to use, and this time I need that line right there for the edge of the joist. And I'm going to need the outside edge of that post again. Now this is 6 feet versus 4 feet, so it's a little different than the other side. We're going to make our ends of our 2x6s again. So I'm going to click corner, corner, rectangle again. Go to this spot right here. Pull outward. We're going to again go 1.5 thickness, enter, 5.5 high. Okay. And we'll do that same thing over here. Stretch out, hook onto that line. So both of those yellow things are showing. Go to the outside, 1.5 and 5.5. All right, so there's our 2x6s. All right, now we're going to go ahead and finish that sketch because we have to extrude those things. And I might need to see how far we're going to go. I think we might be able to go 2 next. We'll see what happens. But I think what I'm going to do instead is just measure the distance. I'm going to move myself out of the way. There we go. So I'm going to measure. It should be 42 feet, like that distance right there. 504 inches. So we're going to remember that, and that's how far we're going to extrude it. Okay. So we're going to extrude, and we're going to extrude all 4 of those. You're going to have to zoom in and zoom out. There's 1. Here's 2. And there's 3. And there's 4. Okay, now they're going the wrong way, so I'm going to have to flip it. And we're going that 504 inches. Enter. See how that looks. Cool. Going all the way. Now it's making 4 separate parts. Move this stupid bar thing out of the way. All right. Looks good. Let's make sure it's going flush with the other side. Oh, it's a little bit less. Okay, that's kind of weird. Oh, I don't know what happened there with the 503.9. 504. There we go. I don't know how I did that. All right, so we're going to say check. Good, and we've got our ledgers for our patio. All right, so next thing is we're going to go ahead and I don't think I need to name those parts. I'm going to rename the part studio. Actually, I'm not going to keep those. I'm going to keep those open. And we're going to go ahead and continue on. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and put another one in here. And then we're going to use that part on the other side. So here we go. Let's, we're going to still sketch on that same spot. We're still right where we are. Okay, we're going to sketch again. Sorry. Sketch again. I'm going to sketch again on that same surface that we were sketching on before. Okay. And we're again going to get ourselves perpendicular to it so we can see. Flip that around. All right. Now this time, I'm going to make that board sticking out. So we're going to go corner to corner rectangle again. And this time I'm going to go from that lower corner on one to the upper corner on the other one, from the outside to the outside. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to go from there to the outside. It's like we're nailing that board onto it. Finish the sketch. Okay. And then we're going to extrude that shape and that shape. This time we do want it to come outward, but we want it to be 1.5 inches thick. 1.5. Sure. Cool. All right. Now, I could build that on the other side. I could do all sorts of other stuff, but what's easiest is to mirror this. Now, to make a mirror plane, in order for me to do that, I'm going to have to find the middle of this board. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to turn off one of these parts. So I'm going to turn off the visibility of one of these boards I just made. We're going to make a plane right in the middle of this. So find your plane command. You might need to do a drop-down menu. It might be hiding a little bit, but we're going to find this thing that says plane. This little guy is kind of in my way here. Let me see if I can. I don't know why it's saying reduce performance. My performance is fine, thank you. So we're going to click plane, okay? And what we want, instead of an offset, I'm going to click that little drop down and choose mid plane. So I chose the drop down. And what we can do is we're going to choose the ends of that board. Watch carefully. I'm going to choose that plane right there. So I already chose one, and I'm going to flip all the way around and zoom in, and I'm going to choose the other end right there. And what it does is see that little plane that shows up right in the middle? That's what we want, okay? Now I can go ahead and turn on that part that I made invisible again. And we're going to flip that around to the other side by mirroring it. So watch carefully. Here we go. Mirror command, okay? Again, it might be hiding for you. And I am going to do a part mirror because I'm going to take two of these parts that I made and I'm going to mirror them across that plane. So we're going to choose those two. Hover over here so you can see that you've got the right ones. There's one of the parts and there's the other part. So I've selected these two. I have to click on mirror plane and I'm going to choose that plane that I just made, which is right there. I'm choosing it from the browser. And we've got our ledgers to build our patio. Cool. So before you get out of that, actually, let me see where we are. Doing okay. So we're going to build our deck boards now. We're going to go ahead and do this in the same one. Before we do that, let's go ahead and take all of these parts that we just built. Hold the shift key down to go from beginning to end and select all of them. I'm not going to rename them because I don't need to. And we're going to assign we're going to edit the appearance just like you always do. Make it the wood frame that we've done before. And we're looking good with that. All right, and now we're ready to put the deck boards on. All right, so here we go. What we're gonna do is we're gonna sketch again on that same surface we've been sketching on. Oh, I take that back. What we need is we need to now make our deck boards that are gonna support our deck. So we're gonna have to make those joists. Now, this is going to be a little bit tricky because we're going to have to go and sketch on one of these surfaces, and we're going to have our pattern start from out here. So we're not going to be able to view exactly straight on. We're just going to have to be close this time. So let's sketch. And we're going to sketch right here on this surface. Now, it's going to be a little hard to see because I'm going to tilt it maybe so I'm kind of looking similar to straight on, but not quite. We're going to make a rectangle. Now, it's important that we're going from that edge, the top edge, and we're going to come downward to the bottom edge and click. Okay? Now, that's automatically going to make it that size, but the other size, whoops, I clicked out of it, and that might happen to you too. I don't want to be in rectangle. Hit escape a couple times. I should have dimensioned from here to here. And you can do that with the dimension tool to 1.5. I accidentally clicked off like I did. And then we're going to dimension from here to here. So go to your dimension tool. We're going to go from this outside edge, choose the line to this point. Oh, it's not letting me select those things. Let me try that again. From here to there. No, not letting me. Okay, so we're going to have to go from the inside and we're going to have to subtract out and do the math a little bit. So here we go. We're going to dimension tool from this inside edge to this little corner right here. Now, what that has to be is it's going to be 16 inches, but we have to subtract out the ledger that's already there and 3/4 of an inch that to go to the middle of the board. Okay, so pay attention. We're going 16 inches, but we're going to subtract out the 1.5 and we're going to subtract out the 0.75 to get to the middle of the board. Enter, and that's where we should end up, 13.75 inside edge to inside edge. Good. Now we're going to go ahead and extrude that. We're going to go that direction, but instead of just going a distance, we're going to go up to next. So where it hits that board, it's just going to stop right there. Cool. All right. Now we're going to do the same exact thing on the other side of the house. I'm going to show you how to do it, but you're going to do that. So I'm going to sketch on here. I'm going to go a little faster this time. Should know what I'm doing. Now we know what the distance is. It should be a little easier. From there to over there. I know it's 5.5. Well, if I hit enter, it should go to the other one. There we go. That's what I messed up before. 1.5. Now, that little red one, I shouldn't have put that in there. It doesn't like it. So I'm gonna have to hit enter, and we're gonna see if I can undo one of these. I'm gonna see if I can click on that and delete it. If that doesn't work, I have to try that one again. Okay, so it says sketch could not be solved. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of here and try that a different way. So I'm going to sketch on there again. I'm going to draw my rectangle again, point to point. Okay, it's already got 5.5. I'm going to go just to that one. Now, and again, I have to right click and hit escape rectangle. We're going to dimension from this point to that point as 1.5. All right, and remember from before, our dimension from here to there was 13.75. Okay. We're going to extrude, finish our sketch, and extrude that part right there. Remember, we're going to go click, instead of blind, we're going to choose up to next. Cool. And then let's take those parts that we just made, and we're going to assign those to be that one and that one. Edit appearance, make those the same thing we did the other one. Now, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to pattern those. So we're going to go to our pattern. We're going to make a part pattern, but we're going to choose from this, we're going to choose those last two parts that we did. Okay. And the direction I want to go is along one of these lines. It doesn't really matter which one. Okay. And we're going to go every 16 inches. And we're just going to click on that number 2 and just go until we get as many as will fit. Now I'm going to flip my direction because I'm going the wrong direction. Highlight that number and just keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going until we have enough to get to the end. Oh, not that many. I went too far. Looks like the right number is 31. Cool. All right, with this like this, I'd like you to flip it around so we're looking at where your name is on there. So you can see it, you can still see it, and take a picture of it with kind of your name showing down there, and take a picture of it this way, and then we can say insert and go to assembly. So take a picture of it like this first. That's what you're going to turn in. And then we can go insert and go to assembly. Select items to insert. Oh, I didn't know it did that. So we want to select everything. We want to select all of our parts, going all the way to the bottom. Hold the shift key down. Okay, so we're selecting everything, and we'll say good. That's what we want to insert. And now we're back to our assembly with that pattern and those joists. We'll make the deck boards next time. All right, good job, folks. See you next time.